All right, here we go. You love him. We love him. He is from Eustis, Florida. Every time we have him on the show, we like to kind of make fun of him. He likes to make fun of us. Always a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, Eustis's own Michael Ray.
Yeah, Michael Ray.
Hey, thank y'all.
Yeah, I didn't give you a UFC intro this time because I figured you were pretty juiced from the last one.
Yeah, well, I use it now as my intro to stage. If you didn't know I was recording it.
And by the way, and you're not the only artist that does it, so I'm waiting for a kickback. Nah, man, I appreciate you getting up with us this morning. So Holy Water is the new song, but last time we talked to you, you were celebrating your 4th #1 Whiskey and Rain. I love that you are staying with the liquid theme of Holy Water and then Whiskey and Rain. But this song, Holy Water, has kind of a cool twist to it, and the story is kind of unexpected. Break this down for us.
It's an old school story song that is about this preacher who is running moonshine out of the back of his church and gets busted by the deacons, and they do a little dealing. But it's one of those songs that I loved from the beginning. What got me into country music was those old story songs. And I felt like we haven't had one in a while, and I fell in love with this song. It really kind of hits a nerve for me on these parts of the woods is where I grew up, which is why I filmed a video back in my hometown in Eustis at this little Baptist church called Cassia Baptist that dates back to 1889. My family history dates back to the early 1900s with that church, and so all those generations have grown up there, going there, and through those woods. It's been told. I heard some stories from my grandparents that back in the day, their generation is that's where they were running moonshine. So
runs in the family.
I heard some stories. By the way, we were wondering how Jerry, your dad, was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing great, man. He's just running moonshine right now.
That's what I'm saying, yeah, it was this old church about this old preacher that used to do this thing or something. I mean, this old church, don't even worry about it. But anyway, yeah.
I love the video. Once again, you got to call on your friends in the community of Eustis, Florida to come in and help you out with the video. Even your cousin playing one of the lead parts in the video as well.
Yeah, it was important to me that we kept everything very organic and real. So the only actors that we paid that we brought in outside, that were on the outside was the preacher and then the other deacon. My cousin Lee played the second deacon, and then everybody in the congregation were people that I grew up with going to that church, or people from around there, people that were somehow tied to that church in some way. We had a couple there that got married there 40-something years ago. They came, so it was just something I really wanted to have the authenticity of that church and the people that made that church what it is. And Pastor Mark Douglas, who I've grown up with since a kid, he's still keeping it alive. They're still got 2 services on Sunday and one on Wednesday, and he's trying to keep it going. So he was in it, and so it was really cool to give them that moment, again, and being able to feel that excitement when the video came out, for everybody that hadn't had that experience before.
Yeah, it's always smart to pay the clergyman, by the way, to bless your song as well. So that was kind of a good move on your part as well. Hey, you think about going to church, you think about, growing up in Sunday school. Give me a life lesson that still applies to you. I'm gonna kind of dig into this a little bit. A life lesson that applies to your life now that maybe you learned back in the day in church.
Ooh.
I think the biggest thing I brought away from growing up in church was that a lot of how people do things now are not how Jesus would have done them then. There's a lot of people that want to point fingers and judge and talk a lot of crap and then post their Jesus calling photo on Sunday morning, before they go to brunch. And so Jesus would have not been that guy. Jesus would have been here with the people that needed him and working hard, and there was no judgment there. It literally says it in the Bible, that without saying cast the first stone. So I think growing up, I really learned a lot in that, because you grow up with a lot of different people, and then what we do, you can just be around some people that kind of act a little holier than thou, so you just bless their heart and walk on by.
Bless their heart. Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Hey, by the way, that's the most serious question I've ever asked you, and I loved your answer. So you were paying attention in church. That's awesome. But yeah, totally agree that Jesus probably would not have been on Snapchat and or Instagram. So very cool.
Now tell us the worst thing you've ever done in church.
No. We got to push some albums. Okay, we got to sell some albums.
I got kicked out of Vacation Bible School for fighting.
Well, man, Holy Water is the new single, brother. We love you. Could not be happier for you, man. On a personal level, how are you doing? As far as like where you're at in your mind and your place in your life. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you that as a friend.
Yeah, man. No, I appreciate it, man. Dude, I've been great, man. Honestly, I've never went to ever talk to somebody or anything like that, but I was just felt like so distant, so different, in my mind, and like just the way I was like, well, man, I need to go you got to talk to somebody just to try to weigh out some of this stuff, you know. So, man, I did that, and it was probably the best thing I've ever done, man. And it just really helped me put a lot of things in categories into perspective, and it just helped me move forward, you know. So I think, I've been great, man. My biggest worry is making the greatest music I can and continuing to grow and play country music.
Well, dude,
it's
if
so
you're,
good to see that.
I was going to say, like, it's so meaningful for people who look up to you to hear you say things like that. Like, hey, yeah, I reached out. I needed some clarity. And the cool thing for you is when you get that clarity, I think you put out some of your best music.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I agree, man. We've been writing the best music. I'm going to have more songs on this next record. You know, I just think getting all that clutter, all that, in the last couple of years, man, built a lot of self-doubt for everybody, but a lot of fear. Man, it can really mess with you, especially when you're somebody trying to hold a business together and all the other things that are going on, and then personal stuff. All that stuff can get to you. I encourage everybody to do it, man. It was my first time ever doing it, I'll be honest, but it was like I've tried everything else, and that didn't work. So
Good for you.
Let me go this route, you know. But it's been great, man. It really has. It really helped me a lot in clarity, and just gave me the tools of stuff that, you know, things I went through in my past that really helped me out now, you know. Yeah. And so I encourage anybody that's going through something to reach out, even if it's a close friend or somebody, you know, just somebody to talk to that you trust.
Yep.
Absolutely, man. Great advice. Great to hear from you. Holy Water, the new song, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Ray.
Yeah.
Hey, come see us soon, man.
I will, man. I will. I'm hopefully to get down there. The Lee Bright Store has us through the summer and stuff. So,
okay.
But hopefully after that, we'll be able to get down there for a little bit.
Sounds good, man. We appreciate you, bro.
Awesome. Well, thank you, guys.
You too, man.